The snow fell softly, blanketing the city in a hush. The streets were quiet, with only the occasional car passing by, its tires crunching on the fresh snow. The city seemed to be holding its breath, waiting for something magical to happen. Inside a small apartment, a young boy named David stared out the window. His breath fogged up the glass as he pressed his nose against it, trying to catch a glimpse of the world outside. The snowflakes danced in the air, and he imagined them as tiny fairies bringing joy to the world. It was Christmas Eve. He should have been excited, but his heart felt heavy. The festive lights in the distance only made him feel more isolated. He remembered the previous Christmases filled with laughter and gifts, but this year was different. His family had fallen on hard times, and there were no presents under their meager tree. The tree, once adorned with colorful ornaments and twinkling lights, now stood bare and forlorn. The absence of gifts was a stark reminder of their struggles. A knock at the door startled him. He turned quickly, his heart racing. Who could it be on such a cold night? He hesitated for a moment, then slowly made his way to the door, his footsteps echoing in the quiet apartment. Opening it, he found a kind woman bundled in a worn coat. Her cheeks were rosy from the cold, and her eyes sparkled with warmth. She looked familiar, perhaps a neighbor he had seen in passing. "Merry Christmas, David," she said, her smile as warm as the apple pie she carried. The pie was wrapped in a cloth, and the aroma of cinnamon and apples wafted through the air, making David's mouth water. "This is for you and your family." David's eyes widened. He could hardly believe it. The simple gesture filled him with a sense of wonder and gratitude. He took the pie, feeling its warmth seep into his cold hands. The pie was still warm, the aroma filling him with a hope he hadn't felt all month. He carried it to the kitchen where his mother and sister were preparing a modest dinner. Their faces lit up at the sight of the pie, and for a moment, the weight of their troubles seemed to lift. That night, they shared the pie, each bite a reminder that someone cared. The sweetness of the apples and the warmth of the spices brought smiles to their faces. It was a simple meal, but it was filled with love and gratitude. It reminded them that even in the darkest times, kindness could bloom. Acts of generosity, no matter how small, could light up the darkest nights and bring warmth to the coldest hearts. That Christmas, David learned that the true spirit of the season was not in the gifts, but in the love and kindness shared. The story of David's Christmas Eve reminds us of the true spirit of the season. Love. It's a time when we come together, not just with our families, but with our communities. We share meals, laughter, and create memories that last a lifetime. It's more than a feeling, it's an action. Love is about stepping out of our comfort zones to make a difference in someone else's life. It's about giving without expecting anything in return. It's reaching out to those in need, offering a helping hand, a warm meal, a listening ear. Love is patient, love is kind. It's the small acts of kindness that often mean the most. It doesn't boast or envy. It celebrates the successes of others and stands by them in times of need. It doesn't keep a record of wrongs. Love forgives and forgets, allowing us to move forward with a clean slate. Love is the greatest gift we can give and receive, a gift that transcends material possessions. It's the joy in a child's eyes, the warmth of a hug, the comfort of knowing someone cares, not just at Christmas, but every day. Let's carry the spirit of love and kindness throughout the year, making the world a better place, one act of love at a time. Christmas celebrates the birth of Jesus, a story overflowing with compassion and love. It is a time when we remember the humble beginnings of Christ, who came to earth to bring hope and light to a world in need. He came to earth, not in a palace, but in a humble stable, surrounded by animals and simplicity. This setting reminds us that greatness can come from the most unexpected places. Throughout his life, Jesus reached out to the outcast, the hurting, the forgotten. He showed us that every person has worth and deserves love and compassion. Jesus taught us to love our neighbors as ourselves, to show compassion to all, regardless of their background or circumstances. His teachings encourage us to break down barriers and build a community of kindness. We can follow his example by volunteering our time to help those in need. Whether it's serving food at a soup kitchen or participating in community service activities, donating to those less fortunate is another way to embody the compassion of Christ. Every small act of generosity can make a significant difference in someone's life. or simply offering a kind word to someone who needs it can brighten their day and remind them that they are not alone. In these ways, we can all share in the compassion of Christ. Forgiveness, a gift to ourselves. Forgiveness is another powerful expression of the Christmas spirit. Just as God forgave us, we are called to forgive others. Holding on to anger and resentment only hurts us in the end. Forgiving doesn't mean forgetting or condoning wrongdoings. It means releasing the bitterness and anger, choosing to move forward with love and understanding. It's a gift we give to ourselves as well as to others. Finding Christmas every day. The true spirit of Christmas isn't confined to a single day or season. It's a way of living, a commitment to love, compassion, and forgiveness throughout the year. Let the joy of Christmas fill your heart, not just today, but every day. Merry Christmas to you and yours. May your holidays be filled with the warmth of love, the joy of giving, and the peace of forgiveness.